So we're going to use the TI Inspire to solve a trig equation, and this time it's between, well, x is in between 0 and pi on 2. So to solve this equation, we're actually looking for sec of x. The first thing you have to remember is that sec of x is 1 over cos x. Remember to look for that third letter. So if we've been given this information about tan and we want sec, well, we've got to figure out what x is. And we can do that either approximately or exactly. So we're going to do that exactly. So what we're going to do is just use our solve command, and you can either type the word solve or you can use the little catalogue here and look up solve. I'm just going to type solve, bracket. We're going to put our equation in, which is tan x. So go to your trig, get your tan x is equal to 2. That's our equation, comma, x, because we're solving that equation for x. Now normally you would push enter at this point to get your answer, but we want to state this domain that we're solving over. So we're going to use the symbol for such that. Okay, so the equation is going to read solve tan of x equals 2 such that x is between 0 and pi on 2. Now the such that symbol, if we push control, is under equals. It looks like a vertical line. So we're going to do such that. And now we have to actually say each part of the domain. So x is greater than or equal to. So again, control equals greater than or equal to 0. Okay, and so because we're going to now say the other part of the domain, we have to put a space and type the word and then another space. Okay, and then this time x is less than or equal to pi on 2. So that's our domain across which we're solving. That's the equation we want to solve. If we press enter, you're going to get an exact value here. Now, if you wanted to find the approximate value for this, remember that you can always push control and then enter again, because you can see the little equivalent equals above enter, and that will give you a decimal approximation. So that's really good just generally when you're doing your trig. But we want to use the exact value here. So I'm just going to put this back in again. Now what we're going to do is actually save this x equals pi on 2 with the inverse tan. I'm actually going to store it as a variable. So the way to store, if you can see here the STO with the arrow, we're going to push control var, which gives us store, and you can store this as anything. I'm just going to store it as A. Just call it A. You can do whatever you want. So if we push enter, okay, you're getting this up. Now if we push A and push enter, you can see here that A is now storing this answer. So whenever we want this exact representation for x, we can just use A. Okay. Now our question asked us to find sec of x. Now that we know what x is, we can find sec of x. So again, with your trig, sec, or you could just type sec of x, which we know is now stored as A, and then we push enter. And you can see here that you've got your exact form, okay, for sec of x, which is the square root of 5. If you wanted to use the approximate value, you could always put this in to get an approximate.